I had to sit down, I had to film this video. I was watching Jen Love's reviews. Actually, she's Jen Love's now. I was watching her take on this, and then I was also watching another live recorded video. And there has been circulation of things going around about the new Makeup Geek Academy from Marlena Stell. And I wanted to sit down and I wanted to watch this video with you, get ready, and like put my makeup on and react to some of the things that she is saying. Now, if you guys didn't know, I am a graphic designer. I have done web development, and I also love to just like dabble in makeup. That's what this channel is about makeup, but my professional job is web development and graphic design. Marlena Stell is a YouTube content creator. She started, way back in like 2000 something when YouTube first started out. She was one of the OG original content creators here on YouTube. She ended up launching a brand called Makeup Geek. Makeup Geek was her own brand of makeup. It has since closed due to issues. She's been on the internet talking about what happened with Makeup Geek, and she decided to take Makeup Geek to the next level and offer just an academy, which she had like classes on her website before, but she really took it to another level and she decided to release just Makeup Geek Academy, which is a website geared toward makeup education. And when it first launched, there was a lot of controversy all over the internet regarding accusations of it being an MLM. So Marlena sat down in a live video to chat with her followers to answer questions about this MLM allegation, and then also to answer questions about the certification in general through Makeup Geek. And that is what I wanted to sit down and watch the video with you today and break it down. So here we go. Let's get into this video. Okay, so if you guys like unfiltered makeup opinions and honest reviews, hit that subscribe button. We're going to get into this video. I'm going to apply my makeup, and as I am applying my makeup, we are going to listen to Marlena's video, and we are going to pause it, break it down what she is saying, and we are going to listen to what she has to say. The actual whole like conversation where Marlena actually starts addressing like is Makeup Geek Academy an MLM? That starts at the 8-minute mark in her video. And so the whole premise behind the MLM accusation is that there was a page that was launched that she claims that she did not know about that said that if you refer people, you get a 10% bonus. If they refer somebody, they also get a 10% bonus, and you get a 3% bonus from their 10%, and so on and so forth. And if you guys are familiar with an MLM, the way that their whole process is, that's very, very similar to that is an MLM. That's how an MLM works. I refer somebody, I add them to my team, and I get a little commission from their sales. They add somebody to, underneath them, and underneath them, I get kickback after kickback after kickback. Marlena did start this video, just so you guys know, she started this video by kind of explaining more of Makeup Geek Academy, and she did kind of like a background. I haven't even put makeup on yet. What's going on? But she did a little background on that, and she was like, okay, this is what the back end looks like. And then she's like, I'm going to take some questions. So here are the questions.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm going to try to go through and pick a few of these questions. Okay. So let's address the MLM thing, because that's the biggest thing. First off, I owe you guys a massive apology. In no way ever was I designing to have an MLM set up for the brand, but I do understand how that has come across and how we have represented ourselves in that way. And that is not my goal at all. It never has been. So I owe you guys an apology for that. In the past 15 years of me having Makeup Geek as a brand and me being on YouTube, I've never once had a brand that was an MLM, it's a tongue twister format. I've never talked about brands on my channel in any YouTube video that I've done. I've never aligned myself with that model. So I would never continue that in the future. However, I know that this has been very coming across as an MLM model, and that is not what I align myself with at all. I find them predatory. And I'm not just saying this to make everyone happy. I genuinely have never done that in the past. And so to do that now would not align with how I presented myself in the last several years. However, I know that there was a page that got out there that had MLM copy. It was makeupgeekacademy.com/affiliates. So when we designed the website, It was all hosted on different URLs, and it was
Okay, so she first starts off by saying that, there was a page that was leaked that reflected MLM material. And I think that's good for her to address, the MLM situation. I mean, we're 8 minutes into this video. This is a live chat that she is having with her followers. And, we're 8 minutes into the video. And that's when she starts actually explaining, like, okay, let's address the fact that, there was MLM content on my website. Like, there was.
and I'm not just saying this to make everyone happy. I genuinely have never done that in the past. And so to do that now would not align with how I presented myself in the last several years. However, I know that there was a page that got out there that had MLM copy. It was makeupgeekacademy.com/affiliates. So when we designed the website, it was all hosted on different URLs and it was live. And that was our first mistake. None of that should have been live. It should have been a draft. And so that what I have to take ownership of. It should have never been live about that. Um,
Okay, first off, she points out that they were all on different URLs. Now, a URL is like https makeupgeekacademy.com. So the slash affiliates is actually a page. It is a developmental page within the website.
but that page we never had hosted on our site. So if you go to the Academy site, let me pull it up here and see if I can do a screen share with you guys. Here's all of my tabs here.
She never had this page hosted on the Makeup Geek Academy website. Now, keep in mind that the URL is makeupgeekacademy.com/affiliates. It's not makeupgeekacademyaffiliates.com. It is not affiliates makeupgeekacademy.com.
Let me open up a new tab and just go to makeupgeekacademy.com. So when you go through the site, that link to that page was never shown on our site. We never linked to it. We never had plans of that going live, but it did exist out there. I'm not sure how someone found it. I think you would have had to type that in URL. But regardless of all of that, that page should not have existed.
Okay, so the fact that she said that it was not published, it was not out there. This is a page that was obviously being worked on because it is a part of the URL makeupgeekacademy.com. It is a page on that URL. Now, the thing with that is she's saying that, like, we don't know where that came from. We don't know how somebody found it. We don't know. The second thing too, the fact that, like, it was all separate URLs and, that sort of thing. This is not Marlena Stell's first rodeo. She's paying somebody professionally to develop her website. She has developed a website multiple times with Makeup Geek, and she's obviously made updates to Makeup Geek over the years to add in, like, her academy and all that kind of stuff through the original Makeup Geek site. And the fact that she's claiming that there were separate URLs, that, her team made a huge mistake and, that's the way it was done. This isn't her first rodeo. She's developed a website before. She is paying professional people to develop a website. And while I know that she may not know coding or exactly how this sort of thing works, the people that she hired to do this job to create this website know what they're doing. They know. So the other thing besides the fact that she's saying that, this page probably should have never existed and that she doesn't know how somebody got a hold of it. Now, this is kind of more of a question in my personal, like, this is just a question I have. Um could this person have very possibly, found this affiliate page just by typing it in, or did they actually start buying the course, and did they actually, get that information once they, joined Makeup Geek Academy and they decided to invest in the courses? Did they see the affiliate program once they signed into the back end? That's my question. So, I mean, it's something that we really don't know. We don't know how it got out there, but somehow it did. And the page was made. It was not in draft mode at all.
Being a brand owner, the buck stops with me. So no matter what happens, I can't pass blame of any of that. All I can say is that should not have been out there. And that definitely is not wording that I approved, that I align with. So as soon as we realized that it got out there, we took it down. So we didn't take it down just because everyone was complaining about that and we were getting pushback on it. It was because we genuinely did not know that anyone had that page out there. We didn't even know that that was still physical because we didn't have it linked to from our site. The other issue with that is we had two affiliate pages. There was one that was .com/affiliate, com/affiliates with an S. There was two pages we had, and we didn't know that that one with the S was the one that was getting all this traction everyone was finding. So as soon as I saw that, I asked the guys, I was like, where is this copy coming from? What happened here? And they were like, we haven't seen that at all. We're not finding this on this site. And I sent them a screenshot that was circulating around online. They saw it. They're like, that's that dummy page that we had when we originally had started the website.
Okay, so she claims that this is a dummy page that they had when they originally started the website.
That was not anything that we even went through in the final renditions of the website. We went through and took the initial draft of the website that the designer had put together. It had all of this wording on there, and we went through page by page and adjusted it to make sure that was in line what the academy actually was. That page we didn't do because we were not using that page. So I don't know if that explains it too well. Let me go back to
She comes back and she says that this is a dummy page, that this was, something that we were starting with the original draft of the website. This was a dummy page. Now, in web design, if you aren't familiar with web design, when you have a dummy page, it usually just generates a lorem ipsum, like it's just like weird, it's Latin. And I don't know exactly what it says, but basically even when I use my InDesign program, when I use my Photoshop program, especially when I use InDesign, it also comes up with the lorem ipsum text. So it's just dummy text. That's literally what they call it. It's just dummy text. Now, the problem with this is they're claiming that this is a dummy page, that this was, early in the developmental stage, that it was a dummy page, and that eventually it didn't make it into the final cut. If this had been a dummy page, there would not be actual legit messaging and text on that page that reflected Makeup Geek. She also claimed that, there were two pages. There was the affiliate page and the affiliates page with a plural, an S. Now, depending on what type of web developer that they use as well, you typically can see, and I'm assuming she probably has like a WordPress site. It's definitely not a Wix site. Like a Wix site doesn't list your pages the way that a WordPress site does, but you can actually go into your WordPress and you can see a list of all your pages, and it lists them out according to what their URL is. And so it'll go through in alphabetical order. So it'll do like makeupgeekacademy.com/A, makeupgeekacademy.com/about, makeupgeekacademy.com/affiliate, affiliates, and so on. And it goes in alphabetical order according to the way that the URL has been assigned. So
okay, so Livy, this is a valid question. So the text was a mistake. Why are you saying that you've eliminated the 3% fee? So it wasn't actually a mistake and you're just backtracking now. So the 3% fee, how we had it set up was it was a commission-based program. So we had a 10% just flat fee, and we had an additional bonus of a 3%. What they called it was a bonus fee. It was a one-time thing. It didn't go down multiple layers. And so that's where I was mistaken, was that I was thinking this isn't an MLM because we weren't going down multiple layers. For example, if someone had referred someone and they got that extra 3% one-time fee for that, or not fee, bonus, but it stops there. It's not like that person under them.
okay, so Marlena is trying to explain that, okay, they did have it set up where a person would get a bonus fee of, or a bonus, like whatever you want, a bonus payout of 10%. And then if they referred somebody, they would get 3%. She is saying that that 3% would have stopped there. It would have stopped with like their referral.
Then sell something and it keeps going up the ladder. That's not how it was sent, just flat fee. And we had an additional bonus of a 3%. What they called it was a bonus fee. It was a one-time thing. It didn't go down multiple layers. And so that's where I was mistaken, was that I was thinking this isn't an MLM because we weren't going down multiple layers. For example, if someone had referred someone and they got that extra 3% one-time fee for that, or not fee, bonus, but it stops there. It's not like that person under them then sells something and it keeps going up the ladder. That's not how it was set up at all.
So she said that it wasn't set up for people to keep getting, as it moves down the ladder, you get more and more and more. That's what she's saying it was not set up as.
Ever us even having that secondary reversion thing, even though my intention was not in any way to be some sort of MLM process, I realized that that's how that is even though it wasn't multiple layers, it was one, and that still is aligning with an MLM, and that's not what I wanted at all. So as soon as I was realizing that that was how that was coming across, I cut it right away because that's not a model that I want to follow. So, yes, we did have a secondary reversion. It was not multiple levels, but we've already cut that. And what I did is just cut that secondary piece and increase the original commission for the influencer. So instead of 10%, now I told the team, let's do 15% just one time. Now, when influencers go to sign up or content creators sign up for the academy, they are not directed to that page at all. We had my affiliate manager would reach out to them directly and set themselves up in another portal. And I'll show you guys what that page looks like.
Okay, so she's saying that she originally had a model like that it was supposed to be 10% and then 3%, and she decided that she didn't want to do that, and it sounded MLM-y. Just the way that she words things and the way that she's like, I realized that it was MLM-y and all of that. I am, and because she's saying that because it sounded MLM-y and everybody was like, saying things about it, that it was an MLM-y kind of like, platform for the way that the affiliate program was going to be working, it leads me to the assumption that the affiliate program was originally supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be like this when she launched the website. And when it became public knowledge that this is how the affiliate program was going to be working, and she was called out for being an MLM, that's when she switched gears and she decided to do one flat 15% referral bonus that you get.
So as soon as I was realizing that that was how that was coming across, I cut it right away because that's not a model that I want to follow. So that whole page that had that awful copy and all that, that was never sent out to our affiliates. We never linked to it at all. I want to see what tab I have to show you this. And I apologize that I'm going through this because there's a lot of tabs that I have open on Safari. Okay, let me do a screen share again. Come on, Chrome. Come on, Chrome. Okay, so let me do a screen share. So, partners sign up. Okay, there we go. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see this. So
I just want to make note. I'm going to try and show you the video. It's black. She's trying to share the affiliate program now.
this was a page that this was the sign up page for the affiliate program. It was not either one of those other two pages, not the .com/affiliate or affiliates. It was neither one. It was this specific page that we sent to affiliates if they were interested in being part of the Makeup Geek program. They got sent this link specifically through email from my director of the affiliate program that they would sign up here and get set up with one URL link that would be their affiliate code. So it was still set up as an affiliate program, just like we had in the past with Makeup Geek. So
Okay, so we can't see what she's talking about, even though she's kind of shedding light on it. I have no idea what this page looks like. Now, this could be operator error.
okay, so this one, so HKNMS4S23. I'm trying to get your guys' username so you know who I'm referring to. So she says MLM concerns as she's working with a team known for creating sites with predatory MLMs and all of that. So I know that's where the issue is coming up. When I did the announcement video, I'd mentioned Tony Robbins' name, and that I should not have done. My mindset is the team I'm working with has built on the back end platforms. I wanted to mention his name, not that I'm following his business model in any way. I don't align with any sort of MLM's pyramid schemes. The only reason I brought his name up so you guys knew on the back end, like the level of the platform, the website, and all of that was from a team that has worked with a level of someone of that magnitude. So you knew it wasn't just me slapping up classes, trying to charge you guys money from it. It was an actual team working really hard to create a custom program, a custom community that was specific to the Makeup Geek Academy. That part had nothing to do with Tony Robbins. It was not following his model at all. But I do understand how that's coming across because the Tony Robbins Association and all of that, but it's not following his business model. It was just the team that has built on the back end some platforms and websites and programs that have gone to the magnitude of someone at that level.
Okay, so Tony Robbins is affiliated with MLMs. He is affiliated with it. And when Marlena announced her Makeup Geek Academy that it was becoming live, and she mentioned in there that her web development team, some sort of affiliation with Tony Robbins, and that they had worked with like projects like that before. I understand to an extent like where she's coming from in regards to like mentioning that she has some really professional web developers. Think about that for a minute. Really professional web developers who have worked on, different sites that are very, very similar to hers that have done very, very well. She has professional web developers, and she's claiming that it was a glitch on her website that this page wasn't supposed to be posted. Is this amateur hour?
Stephanie Eaton, you couldn't work with someone else? I could have for sure, absolutely. I chose to work with this team, you guys, and I got some behind the scenes footage that I was going to put together to show you guys that was like, here's all the work that we've done. I chose to work with this team for one because I knew they had the skill set to build a custom community, something from scratch that has not been done before. And I do believe that this model has not been done in the beauty space. Has there been classes? Absolutely. Has there been, academies and things like that? But having an academy, digital magazine, and a community and events and bringing in brands to give exclusive coupons and giveaways, I have not seen anything like that in that space. So I needed a team that had experience of at least building out things on the back end that could support the type of growth that I wanted to see with that. So that is why the people that I am working with currently are genuinely good people. I would not work with them if I felt they were shady at all. We actually bonded together of working together because they knew my ultimate mission moving forward was to support some organizations specifically around domestic abuse and all of that. That's coming in the near future. I don't want to talk about it here because I don't want it to feel like I'm using that as bait of, hey guys, I'm doing this charitable work. No, there is a lot more coming in the very, very near future around that. But when they heard what my overall vision was of having business moving forward and having multiple facets of that, supporting something that is very personal to me and is very I'm passionate about, it's my mission, they were excited about that piece. And so that's why they chose to work with me was because
Okay, so Marlena herself even says that she chose to work with these people because they knew what they were doing, they've done it before, and they are experienced enough to create the vision that she has for Makeup Geek Academy to come to life. She literally is 1 minute saying that it was a glitch of some kind, a developmental glitch, it wasn't supposed to be there, saying to her website team that, they don't know how they caught it, that they don't know. But then in the next breath, she's saying they have so much experience, that's why she wanted to work with them, that's why she decided to work with them, because they could create a really amazing website. Like, you can't have it both ways. Where one way, it was a glitch and they made a mistake and they don't know what they're doing, and, the next minute they're so professional and they know what they're doing, and I understand that things can happen on a website, and I do know that, like, glitches happen. Like, I understand to an extent that certain things can happen, typos can happen, navigation can sometimes get messed up because it doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. But when you launch a website, you literally nitpick through this thing like tooth and comb. She obviously has like a huge team of people. I've done this on my own personally for people that I work for, and I nitpick through a website and I make sure that it navigates properly and it operates properly before it goes live. And there are ways to do that in a developmental mode, and she has a team of people. So it's not one person, it's not two people. She had multiple people working on this website, multiple eyes. And for this to get overlooked, that to me seems a little bit far fetched. They're so good at their job. And that's why she hired them. Yet they made such a rookie mistake. And again, she has she has gone through the developmental phase of a website before. They're a professional team, and they've been doing this for a very long time. This was not an accident. At least I don't think so.
so ES says, I understand what happened. My husband is a web designer and inputs dummy verbiage and categories during development. I understand that completely. It should have been like Ipsum, little Latin stuff, and all of that going on. I think the web developer was putting in copy from other sites. And I just found out today because everyone was asking, where did
Okay, so she's saying that, okay, I understand. I've seen the IMSUM like dummy text before. Even somebody was like, oh yeah, my husband's a web developer. I know what you're talking about. There is development text that is Latin and it does show up on a website. Marlena's like, yeah, I'm familiar with it. I understand. And then in the next breath, she's like, he was copying and pasting verbiage from another website. But she earlier in this live had said that she initially set up the affiliate program to be what that web page said. They're a professional developmental team, and they are copying and pasting verbiage from another site that's reflective of an MLM.
So Chelsea says, can the certification lead to licensing in cosmetology? No, it cannot. So licensing in makeup artistry is where this gets really tricky because there is no actual makeup license.
Marlena blatantly said, okay, this is not a license. It's not a license to be able to practice makeup artistry. It's just a certificate of completion. Now, she said that they won't be awarding the certificate of completion unless the person has been proven to go through the entire course and complete everything. Okay, that makes sense. The only way for you to get certified is to pay the 3 installments of $11.99, $1,200. And with you paying that, all you get is a certificate of completion, not from anything that's accredited. She said that she is working on it, but then she also says that, you know, for you to be able to practice makeup on people, you need to have a cosmetology license. The biggest takeaway from her talking about certifications and accreditations is the fact that people are paying $3,000, over $3,000 to become certified. Just certified, a certificate of completion. They are not licensed legally to practice makeup artistry on anybody in whatever state that they take this course from. They are not licensed. Now, each state in the United States of America has a different certification licensing process. Some states don't require a cosmetology license, some states do. And most of the states actually require either an esthetician's license or a full cosmetology license. And the difference between an esthetician's license and a cosmetology license is that an esthetician learns about nails and they learn about skin. Not necessarily makeup application, but they learn about skin and they learn about skincare, all of the things that have to do with like skin. And as a cosmetologist, you learn about how to cut hair, color hair. You learn everything, not just cosmetology as like hair and coloring hair and cutting hair, but you also learn aesthetics and you learn, nail technician. That was a couple of years ago that I was looking into it, and I actually was looking into both cosmetology and my esthetician's license, and come to find out if I wanted to do just esthetician's license and nails, it was about $12,000. You couldn't do just nails. You couldn't do just aesthetics. You had to do both. That's what esthetician, like getting your license was. And then if you wanted to do everything to be a cosmetologist, learn how to do hair and also, learning about, the skin and also the nails, then you would pay upwards of 20 something thousand dollars to be able to learn how to do that. The big key takeaway this from this course is that you are receiving nothing from anybody who is accredited. You're not receiving anything from, a licensing board saying like you can be an esthetician now, you can practice makeup on other people. You aren't receiving a cosmetologist license, you're not receiving an esthetician's license. You are literally paying $3,000 for a useless piece of paper. I hate being so blunt about it, but it is true. You are paying $3,000 for a piece of paper that says you passed Makeup Geek Academy. You can't practice makeup on anybody unless you live in a state or a country that's like all you need is some sort of certification. It doesn't have to be a license. And there are not very many places in the United States that allow you to just practice makeup on people. There's only one way that you can practice makeup on people in the United States without having a license, and that's if it's for sales demo purposes only. That's why when you actually see like an MLM person, they're like, I'm a makeup artist. It's because they're able to practice the makeup on people because they're technically selling it. And the same with people at Ulta. This is how they get around not having licensed cosmetologists and estheticians that work the sales floor because they are selling the makeup, and that's a loophole. That was another thing that I really wanted to bring up was the fact that, you're paying $3,000 to get a certification. It's not a license of any means. And this is just a certification to learn how to color match yourself, shade match yourself. Um, like she was showing some of these classes that you can, take. And even the cheapest, like the least expensive one is $300 and you learn how to like shade match yourself or apply eyeshadow. That's stuff that you can find on YouTube today. Like, you can find basic tutorials on YouTube today from professional makeup artists like Robert Welsh, from me, from so many other people here on the platform for free instead of paying $300 to learn how to apply your makeup.
Yeah, so Ciara is saying a cosmetology or an esthetician's program would be substantially more expensive too. I paid, took out loans 20K for cosmetology school. Yes. Most of the cosmetology schools I've looked at have been between $15 to $20,000, which rightfully so, it covers hair. But if you're focusing on just makeup, in my opinion, it's not worth it, because if you want to become a makeup artist, because $20,000 for learning all hair and just a very teeny tiny portion of makeup, for me, it is not worth it if you want to become a makeup artist. Honestly, the best thing, in my opinion, is if you really want to focus on skin, maybe get your esthetician's license. You have a license of some sort, but if you really want to focus on makeup, is honestly taking various courses to learn, and then having experience, starting out on your own, freelancing, working as assistants to professional artists that have been in the industry for a long time. That was a route that I did in the past as well. I've been a freelance artist since.
Okay, so Marlena is circling back to the fact that, like, when you go to school to get your cosmetology license, that you are getting your license in hair, which isn't entirely true because cosmetologists these days don't focus just on hair. They focus on nails, skin, and hair. So there's different. I went through this whole thing. I looked into it to myself. This was a couple of years ago. It was right after Claire was born. So this was 4 years ago. You could go the route of cosmetology where you learn about hair, skin, and nails. And it was a very vigorous, like, in-depth course where you did half of it on hair and half of it on skin and nails. And it did teach you about skin. And it wasn't necessarily, like I said, makeup application, but it was learning about skin, about the facial structure, and all that kind of stuff. And Marlena is saying that her recommendation is to take certifications, get certifications, work with a makeup artist, work freelance. Guys, technically that's illegal. There are states that if they find out that you're practicing makeup artistry on somebody without an esthetician's license, they will fine you. They will fine you. They will actually, send you a nasty gram telling you to cease and desist because you are not a licensed esthetician or a licensed cosmetologist, and you need one or both of you need either a license from an esthetician, like you need your esthetician's license, or you need your cosmetology license, which also encompasses esthetician, but you need your state license, one that the state gave you that you live in, to be able to practice makeup artistry, or they will fine you. And she is saying, she started out where she was able to do makeup artistry and she got certifications and she learned it, and then she shadowed some professional makeup artists in the industry. That is all great and dandy, but for you to practice makeup artistry in many of the United States of America, you have to have a license. Even to intern, you have to have a license. Now, like I said, there are ways to, like, get around that, and it's like the sales way where you're able to practice makeup if it's a sales demo, but you can get fined if you are taking money and doing makeup on people and promoting yourself as a professional makeup artist if you are not licensed. So please keep that in mind. I am not saying that she's not underqualified or that she's overqualified. She does have great qualifications to be able to teach makeup artistry, but the fact remains is that she hasn't taken into consideration the fact that this $3,000 course gives you a certification, but they still can't practice makeup artistry unless they are in a state that allows them to without an esthetician or cosmetologist license. And that's the big thing that I wanted to bring to point. That's the biggest thing, and it's one thing that I noticed through her entire live video when she's talking about this portion of the academy that she doesn't talk about. She doesn't talk about the fact she does talk about the fact that it's not a license, but she doesn't talk about the fact that you will not be able to perform makeup artistry in a number of states, and she doesn't even mention the fact that, like, you should actually check with your state to see if you can perform makeup artistry with or without a license, and that's one thing that really bothered me about this. And this is a huge portion of why I wanted to sit down and film this, because I did the research. I talked and sat down with people at a cosmetologist school and actually determined whether or not I was going to be able to go to cosmetology school to become a professional makeup artist, to be able to practice on other people and do makeup on other people professionally and get paid for it, or if I was just going to call it a wash and just do, apply makeup on myself. You were perfectly fine to apply makeup on yourself. From what I'm gathering from Makeup Geek Academy is that it is to build a community, it is for creators, but it's also for those people who want to do makeup artistry on other people, which is what she was focusing on this portion of the video, and it really bothered me. It bothered me that there was a lot of misinformation that she was handing out. She was like, "I have experience doing this and this and this," but she was in states that didn't require her to have a makeup license, a makeup artistry, an esthetician's license, or a cosmetology license, and she needs to point that out. She needs to point out that you're getting certified, you're not getting licensed, and you could be fined if you practice makeup artistry in a state where you're not licensed. Going through this entire video talking about her process of web development and, some of the mistakes that were made with this and some pages that were like, on a different URL and, how she doesn't know how this happened and they don't know how this got put out here. Sitting down and listening to her talk, going back and forth saying that this team was really professional, and then one minute they made this really big mistake, almost as if they didn't know what they were doing and they don't know how it got put out there. If you have a team that has developed a website before, they know the checks that have to go through before a site goes live. And then on top of that, her talking about the fact that this is a $3,600 course and all you get is a piece of paper. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave me a comment down below. What are your thoughts on this? What is your take on this? If you like content like this, please consider subscribing. This is not normal content for me, but I had to sit down and I had to film this. I had to. I hope I get to see you in my next video. Bye.